$100 on select adjustable mattress sets.
Turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Four Nations face-off comes down to this. Pride is on the line.
Buckle up, North America! The rematch! Team Canada, USA!
The championship game, Thursday at 8 on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus.
See, toe fungus is not just an embarrassing cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even small spots can spread and get worse. Drugstore remedies and prescriptions just don't get to the root cause of your fungus. That's why this simple 2-minute hack has gone viral. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. It works by deeply penetrating and disrupting the cellular structure of the fungus. Thousands are literally wiping their fungus clean and showing off their toes again. And now you can try it totally risk-free. Go to crystalflush.com.
Look, great blue heron. You know, when I go, I'd like to leave some money to the season.
There's great analysis coming your way here. They shoot the ball better. I mean, that's like it's
the ball better.
Yeah, it's a good point. Anybody can shoot it. They can make it. They make 39% clip from the three-point line. Now they don't take a ton though. Bottom 70 in the nation in terms of three-point rate. But that means you take good ones. You play with good spacing. You got higher skilled players. And when they don't make them, they do still offensive rebound at an elite level, and they are still one of the best defensive teams in the country. There's no longer do they have enough offense. They do.
Yeah, they can turn you over the offensive rebound, and now they can shoot the three. But Milos Uzan, you know, Jamal Shed was a hard dude to replace.
Oh, man.
Jamal Shed is a guy to actually defend the ball at the point of attack, get you into offense, get downhill, make winning plays. Basically a reflection of coach. And I look at this team right now, this is exactly what he's turned into, Milos Uzan. He's turned into a downhill, tough, physical driver who can defend the ball, and basically he has embraced the culture that is Houston basketball. And, like, if you want to play for Houston, all right, you've got to defend, you've got to be physical, you've got to be tough, you can't take plays off, and that's what he's learned to do. It's taken time. Yeah. That's a learned trait.
And these Oklahoma fans aren't enjoying watching this right now as he was in my backcourt last year. But the last thing, too, that they can play through Roberts or Uzan, or you got multiple guys for sure late game that you can go to, and they've gone through Roberts quite a bit in the last couple games, late game. That helps you not be scouted against and taken out of what you need to do to win games late. That's huge.
And he's getting used to the scowl. The Kelvin Sampson scowl.
It doesn't affect him anymore as much?
He's never happy on the bench. And then he kills his son.
There may be a lot of scowls in Tempe tonight against Arizona State. And a reminder, Coach is going to gas up the jet, head to Houston this week.
Make a couple of pit stops along the way, change planes, but it'll be fine.
Cougars get number 8. Iowa State game day is going to be there, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. And Hunter Dickinson up next for Kansas at BYU.
Ooh, that's a tough game.
Jayhawks got to get right over on ESPN.
We aren't building electric vehicles because it's trendy. We're building them to save our planet. To save it from all those soulless, self-driving sleep pods everyone else keeps polluting our streets with. That's why we're doing it.
At Metro, get $25 in line for 4 lines, plus 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. It's easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Visit a store, go online, or call. Only at Metro.
If you have wet AMD, you never want to lose sight of the things you love. Some things should stand the test of time. Long-lasting EYLEA HD could significantly improve your vision. More people on EYLEA HD had no fluid in the retina compared to those on EYLEA at 4 months. EYLEA HD is the only wet AMD therapy that helped 8 out of 10 people go up to 4 months between injections after 3 initial monthly treatments. If you have an eye infection, eye pain or redness, or allergies to EYLEA HD, don't use. Eye injections like EYLEA HD may cause eye infection, separation of the retina, or rare but severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye. An increase in eye pressure has been seen. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. The most common side effects were blurred vision, cataract, corneal injury, and eye floaters. And there's still so much to see. If you are on EYLEA or a similar type of treatment, ask your retina specialist about EYLEA HD today for the potential for fewer injections.
Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
Florida made more threes in that first half than Oklahoma made field goals. 3 of them by Walter Clayton Jr. Gators up big. The second half is next.
Misty?
You know this person?
Is your cat getting too cool? Give him Temptations treats.
It's Jamie's first time changing her own oil, and an AutoZoner helps her find the right parts and a great deal. Get incredible savings at AutoZone's A to Z savings event, now through March 10th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
For a limited time at Domino's, get the Dream Pizza Deal. Any pizza you want for just $9.99 online. Because any pizza with any crust and any toppings means you can order the pizza you've been dreaming of. All for the dream price of $9.99. The Dream Pizza Deal at Domino's.
Darling, you're the one for me. Give me all your love. Say the word and I'll lift you up. I'm incredible, incredible.
Move my next meeting to tomorrow at noon and text it to Jen.
Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma, where world-class scholars and scientists are connecting to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
LA Golf? Oh no, Bryson's busy, but DJ's always available.
Welcome to LA Golf. You guys ready for the tour? We're the only golf company that manufactures its clubs here in the United States. All LA Golf drivers are built right here.
LA Golf, apparel, concept.
We also make shafts and golf balls.
I'm very excited for today's production. It's going to be.
All right, guys, we're going to head into the factory, put on our goggles.
Bryson, quick photo.
4 left. Anybody hungry?
Questions?
So does he work here?
Work here? He lives here.
Super Tuesday presented by Progressive. Super game so far for the Florida Gators. And the Red Panda, persistency pays off, nailing the landing on the last attempt. There were a couple little miscues, but she hung in there and got it done. Welcome again, everybody. Courtside here with my buddy Jimmy Dykes. Some very savvy Florida Gator fans who know exactly where that camera is up there. And they knew exactly where the basket was in that first half, Jimmy.
No doubt. They were really good, weren't they, Florida offensively? Yes. 7 assists, only 1 turnover. And Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard, man, these guys are just studs. They can do it all, but the three-point shot from distance, they shoot it with ease, Ravi. They find each other so well. They always have that backside corner filled. And Walter Clayton Jr. he's a bucket getter. And coming off ball screens, Will Richard has really, grown in that area of his game. But we saw Florida offense on full display in that first half. 9 out of 20 from the three-point line. They've put up 46 points already. But to play that fast and only have one turnover, man, that's really good stuff for Todd Golden.
Sure is. Let's get more from Molly.
Yeah, down 22 points at the half. Oklahoma head coach Porter Moser was very, very positive at halftime. He said he really liked a lot of their defensive possessions, and their transition defense was good until some of those final minutes of halftime. And he really liked the fact that Florida only has 3 offensive rebounds, but he told his team, just take this in small 4-minute increments. We cannot let their big shots deflate us. He challenged his team to show toughness and resilience and told them that giving up tonight is not an option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well put by him, Molly, really well put.
Such a good word, though, deflated.
Yeah.
And how these young men deal with that type of impact from a Florida Gator relentless offense. See what the start of the second half brings, and right away it brings a turnover.
It is such an unforgiving league this year. And you get your dauber down, it's hard for Oklahoma men just to find their way back. And Porter was very concerned about the confidence level of his team over the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, the only guy that was a little shaky in the first half for Florida really was Aberdeen, who's been so hot, went 1 of 7. Clayton gets fouled on a crazy fadeaway, and Miles is going to get called. Denzel Aberdeen, 1 of 7. He ended up with 5 points. And of course, Aberdeen, in the absence of some of the injured players, had carried them for about 4 games. 42 points his last 2 games and a 62% field goal percentage.
If you think about Oklahoma right now, they're 3-9 in the league, staring at 3-10 unless something changes dramatically. In 2 of the last 3 years, Oklahoma has been the first team out of the NCAA tournament. And with a loss tonight, Joe Lunardi says they still hang in there, but man, do they need a couple more or 3 really good wins.
They've doubled them up 48-24, and Clayton, to go with all of his terrific shooting from the floor, is an outstanding free throw shooter at near 90%. Difficult pass inside, tipped out of bounds. Let's follow up on that point about this conference and how difficult it is, because around the country they keep hearing about the SEC getting 13 or 14 teams in. That's the rest of the country. You're a team like South Carolina or Oklahoma. How difficult is it to compete in this conference, and what do you have to do long term to compete with the top?
You have to have your NIL money match what's going on in this league. And you look at right now where Oklahoma is in the NIL, where South Carolina is in the NIL. They're not up to standard. And Oklahoma lost a couple of key guys last year because they couldn't afford to keep Milos Uzan and Otega Owe. Uzan starting for Houston right now. Owe starting for Kentucky, and that's just as simple as you can put it.
They'll let Chinyalu drive, and no, he can't get the soft touch to go. Will Richard has drawn the assignment of fears. They switch. Left hand can't go, and here's a chance for Florida to use their speed.
Oklahoma has missed, I don't know, a handful of shots right at the rim in this game.
Yep.
There's that 4-round offense. They play ball out of it. They have plays, but they also just play ball out of it.
Aberdeen brushes the freshman fears off, and then he falls down, but he does as a result of a foul.
Aberdeen, though, what I do like about him, he's hyper aggressive coming off of ball screens. And I mean, those first 2 dribbles for anybody coming off of a ball screen, they have to be thinking downhill and go score. And Aberdeen has that aggressiveness about him. Now, you read the defense after the second bounce, which he needs to progress in that area, but he is wired to get downhill. Got to be there. Boy, he got lucky. Just can't dare Florida to shoot off that on-ball action.
Good eye with a nice rebound in traffic, and now he uses that right arm, and he's not going to get called for pushing off. They're going to get Aberdeen for the foul. More college basketball coming up, Jimmy, right after us here, ESPN2, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Kelvin Sampson and the Houston Cougars take on Arizona State. The other Hurley is struggling tonight against Villanova. He's getting beat badly at home at last check. Goodine. And that's good defense by Houck, but it's tipped up and in by Sam Godwin, the senior out of Ada, Oklahoma.
Well, he led Godwin the Big 12 last year.
Yes.
In offensive rebounds. He's not quite at that 3 offensive rebounds per game, but it's just the kind of dirty work that he does. Talking about 10 in red.
That ball was deflected, and it is on the floor. And here comes Oklahoma again. They got it down to 18. Good defense that time by Clayton to slow it down. Fierce dribbles right into Chinulu in traffic. And Chinulu's going to get the foul. So good play here by Oklahoma. Just what Porter Moser told Molly he wanted to see out of the second half break.
Yeah, well, Porter Moser can really coach. And to challenge his guys right now to try to win the second half is exactly the message you send. They had a brutal 3-game stretch schedule-wise, which kind of knocked them back. Ravi, that loss to LSU on Saturday, that one's really tough to recover from. And now they got to find a way to get another 3 wins, maybe 4 in this league.
Oklahoma's done pretty well tonight is control Florida's fast break game. The last 4 games, they've been outscored in fast break points big time. And tonight it's a 4-2 edge for the Gators. Just a whole bunch of contact. Walter Clayton Jr. will get fouled. That's the 3rd foul on Duke Miles.
Well, Clayton Jr. is really good, Ravi, at that. You know, his 2nd or 3rd bounce going towards the rim, he's finding the defender and getting into the body. And he's an older kid that has seen it all in terms of how to score in this league.
Martin's having a great night shooting. They left him wide open, and Florida 5 straight games with at least 10 3-point field goals.
Where's the weakness for Florida, man? They get you in every area. Transition, they're much better defensively this year. They're great in the special teams category, those out-of-bounds underplays. I mean, they are the complete real deal.
Good move there to shake Handlockton. And the 2 for Jalen Moore. Other end, too quick.
Well, about 2 seconds. Getting that ball out of the net, and Martin's finishing at the other end.
Just after we talked about the fast break points. That's a foul on a 3-point shot. Sitting down there on the ground and unable to kind of come to grips with what he just did. Clayton Jr. Timeout here on the floor. Oklahoma cut it down a little bit. It's right back to 20 as the SEC on ESPN rolls on from Gainesville.
Okay, Noah's gonna make a fire. Our job is to let him do it by himself.
What kind of wood you got there?
Greg, it's important to challenge young homeowners turning into their parents.
Not a great start. You gotta turn it. You gotta turn it.
Doesn't look structurally sound here. Tom? They can't help themselves.
A fire starter?
Okay.
You know, cavemen, they built fires with nothing but their wits and their bare hands.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Can't watch this.
Ketchup, in my opinion, it's the epitome of where art meets science. Everything from flavor to color to texture is scrutinized. Am I a ketchup nerd? Absolutely.
Hey, man. You like Dr. Pepper?
And its unique blend of 23 flavors.
Little guy or little girl, they used to hand out wings.
Yeah.
You should come up with Jimmy the Jet wings and hand them out when you're walking campus. Can you imagine what fire that would catch?
Oh, these people behind
us. Oh my gosh.
They would eat that up, right?
Jimmy Jet wings. Not edible.
That jet started back in 2008 as just a side third graphic.
Really? Well, it's come so far.
It's come a long ways.
First class is occupied this year more so than in years past by SEC teams. And you said there's some others looking to get into first class.
And Texas A&M could work their way up there.
Yes, they can. Aberdeen, nice bounce pass there in traffic. How ripping it away. He does that as well as anybody.
He has a motor that does not stop. He is all gas. Thomas Houck. I think he sets the temperature for this Florida team. You got to have a guy that controls the thermostat, and to me, it's Thomas Houck.
You mentioned A&M. They are playing right now on the SEC network in a good one against Mississippi State. It's a 4-point Mississippi State advantage, 46-42. We look forward to welcoming our buddy Dick Vitale back. He joins us Saturday, Jimmy, for Kentucky and Alabama. It'll be great to see Coach Vitale in person.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Just like a lot of people in college basketball, I've been in thoughts and prayers for the last couple of years, and we are so excited to be with Coach on Saturday.
Duke Miles picks up his fourth, Jimmy.
Well, if Florida continues to be unselfish, and I've seen nothing about them that says they're not going to be, they're going to be a serious threat in that Final Four. They move the ball, Ravi, so well. Their assist numbers again tonight are high, but the ball doesn't get stuck. And if they continue to play like that, they have 10 assists tonight. They are a tough cover.
You start the season with aspirations, and by this point, we're midway through February, third week of February. There are teams that realize we're legit, and Florida knows they're legit. They're doing this without Sam Alexis. They're doing this tonight without Alex Condon. They know. So the rest of the way, it's more of validation, verification. Doesn't mean you win it, but you know you're in that first class. You're in that conversation.
I don't know, there might be 10 or 12 teams that can probably feel the same way about it, but this is getting shorter and shorter.
Right. Tough shot, that one by the outstretched arm of Houck. It's good eye and put it up and in.
Right, there's so much to be said for what you just said. When you leave the locker room as a staff and with your guys, you know you can beat anybody in the country. And that's the confidence that Florida has right now, and that they have deserved it and earned it.
Shindilu just ran over Moore and threw it up and in. Haven't called number 9's number a lot tonight because the guards have been so great. He is a physical presence. It's been a while since Fears buried one, so he reminds everybody he's still in this game, and now 17 in the game. Well, I'm sure he's getting a lot of minutes tonight.
Well, he's earned them.
Yes.
You look what that kid does. Is that he makes plays that don't show up on the stat sheet. Talking about 7 and white at the top of the screen.
Shindilu, Houck. Elvis in the building with the foul. Foul on Kobe Elvis. We'll take a timeout. We got the Jet going. We got it all going if you're a Gator fan tonight.
We made a promise to our boy Blue that we would make the healthiest foods possible with the finest natural ingredients and real meat first. And that's our promise to you and your dog or cat. Because when you love them like family, you want to feed them like family.
Easy. Find a pet-friendly Italian restaurant with outdoor seating nearby and text it to Luca.
Find it real quick. Send it to the click. This is sick.
Pick 2 of Arby's beef and cheddar and crispy fish sandwiches for $6.99. It's surf and turf, reef and beef, the old bovine and brine, sea milk and land cookies, the old Arby's. We have the meat.
Darling, you're the one for me. Give me all your love.
Saturday, Hoops Heavyweights hit the hardwood on ESPN. First, it's a top 10 showdown in the Big 12.
Boy, does it have a big feel about it.
Then it's Blue Blood.
Decades upon decades of sustained excellence.
Versus New Blood.
Knocks it down. This team is legit.
A Sonic blockbuster Saturday. Iowa State, Houston at 2. Kentucky, Alabama at 6 on ESPN.
This pro show has those shoes you've been looking for.
What? Bid for me.
Look, you won! Yes!
Can you sell my stuff on there like that?
You can.
I'm gonna make so much money.
Download the Poshmark app to discover all the ways you can buy and sell today.
There wouldn't be an hour in the day that I didn't think about hair thinning. I chose Nutrafol because it was 100% drug-free and clinically tested. I experienced thickness, volume. Nutrafol is life-changing for me.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men.
Welcome to LA Golf. You guys ready for the tour? We're the only golf company that manufactures its clubs here in the United States. All LA golf drivers are built right here.
I'm very excited for today's production. It's gonna be
4 left. Anybody hungry?
So does he like work here?
Work here? He lives here.
Kevin Connors in studio on a multi-screen viewing kind of night. Over on ESPN, you've got Tiger Woods in action. His Jupiter team down big in TGL action. A&M and Mississippi State on the SEC network. The Aggies riding a 5-game win streak. And Molly over on ESPN Plus. Iowa State, the nation's number 8 team, up big.
A lot of good action tonight, Kevin, and here for the Gators, Walter Clayton Jr., their guard, a big part of their success here tonight and all season. And a fun fact about him, he was a 4-star college football prospect. Former Gators head coach Dan Mullen offered him a scholarship to play safety. He was also recruited by Georgia, Tennessee, Notre Dame, among others, but said his heart was more into basketball. But he brings a football player mentality onto the court. Said that's where he gets his physicality from, his background in football, and it served this team well, guys.
Yeah, and he's not the only one. We talked about Elijah Martin, Jimmy. There is a rugby background here as well. Australian rules football. They've been involved in physical play. And I don't know. We've been to a million of these shoot-arounds. Do you think you can glean something from the way a team goes through a shoot-around as the way the season wears on? Because I'll say this about Florida, just because we saw them, their enthusiasm, their energy, there's not many that match it.
No, there's not, but I think it feeds back to they have big goals in front of them. And they approach every game day like it's a national championship game. They prepare for it. But their confidence level right now is easy for you and I and Molly to see this afternoon. Just the love they have for one another. Molly talked about in the open, the fight they have for one another, the unselfishness.
Great defense by Howe. Terrific defense to stay right in front of Elvis.
But think about, tonight, Clayton, Richard, and Martin have combined for 45 points, but Clabishar, number 7, also now a scoring threat. Denzel Aberdeen, who's been averaging 16 the last 4. Who has 5 more productive guards in the country right now than Florida? The answer is nobody.
Yeah, nobody. You answered your own question. Yeah, there was a step right in front of Todd Golden, but they're not gonna pull that string. Look out! Oh, that boy, Handlockton came right down on Martin, and thankfully Martin was there because Handlockton was going to come down really hard.
Jalen Moore is a very fast, long, explosive athlete, and right there, Martin does a good job of catching Handlockton. Yeah. But again, Jalen Moore, the MVP of the Battle for Atlantis. And he's also in the top 10 finalists for the Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year award. He's been terrific this year. And 29 points against Texas this year, leading scorer in the SEC play.
Again, Joe Lenardi said a loss by Oklahoma won't be a devastating loss as far as their tournament hopes. But at some point, like you said, you got to win a few of these games, and it's not an easy schedule. It never is in this conference, but they're playing some of the cream of the crop with 5 ranked teams. Clavshar. Good hands, hand-locked and tied up, and down he goes.
It all started, though, with the ball pressure of Clavshar. And Clavshar picked that ball up at the 75-foot mark and just hounded the basketball. 7 or 8 dribbles. Man, the depth of this Florida team is real stuff. Clavshar, look at that. That's a championship chess man. He gets those hands out. He stays in front of that basketball, puts pressure on it. And hand-locked and all 7-1 of him over there. Swiper, no swiping, but almost.
There's a beautiful look about Hanlock, given that Saturday Night Live just celebrated his 50th anniversary.
I know where you're going.
Well, he's gotten Will Ferrell a lot, and he does have a wonderful smile and personality about him. Very popular amongst his teammates. He, Condon. Fired up Martin. No good, and Houck volleyballed it back out. Aberdeen, good pass to Clavshar. Good result.
Man, he could start for a lot of teams
in this conference.
Yes, that's the 5th guard that Florida has.
There's help. Look at Farrell. He's smiling on the way back up. And Aberdeen, no. Well, that's a handlock that's having himself a fun time out here right now.
Man, Clavshar, 7 out of 9 from the 3-point line in the last 4 games, and that number's going up tonight. Such a smooth release, and another just a tough competitor. He's 2 out of 4 from the 3-point line, and there's the value of Hanlockton. All 7 feet of him. He's going to impact that ball around the rim defensively going forward. He made a good defensive team better when he took that red shirt off.
Well, we talked about the challenges ahead, and once more, Porter Moser said it's a difficult path, but it's an attainable one.
Man, where's the win?
Look at all those numbers.
Oh, wow.
And then at Texas, March 8th.
I mean, you only have 3 conference wins. You got to get, I would think, a minimum at 6.
This is the first of, again, 5 in a row against ranked teams. And we just saw Texas beat Kentucky at Texas. Such a wonderful place to play. And Texas very well could be playing for their tournament lives that day. It's about 8 minutes before 9 o'clock. 2 more games, so you can find them on your laptop, TV, whatever multiple devices you have. Number 5, Houston will square off against ASU at 9 Eastern time right here on ESPN2. The winners of 17 of their last 18 over on ESPN. Bill Self looking for some consistency from his Kansas Jayhawk team there in Provo, taking on BYU.
Well, Bill's team, defensively, they're fine. They cannot find any type of rhythm or consistency on the offensive end. That league right now, my eye goes to Houston, Iowa State, and Arizona. 3 teams that could find their way into that Final Four as well.
Deflected, and Martin, like a defensive back, he had that nose for it. He went to get it. A guy like A.J. Storr, though, you know, this portal, the NIL, all that money, it doesn't guarantee that a transfer is going to have great success. He came from a good program. His numbers are way down. Many of the guys that moved on to Kansas have seen their numbers come down this season, oddly.
Yeah, in a strange way, Wisconsin loses Chucky Hepburn and A.J. Storr, and they're better this year. That's a Wisconsin team setting their
Big win this weekend.
And really score, man. They have found their groove offensively. I look at Thomas Houck out there, and I talked about him being the guy that sets the temperature, the barometer, because he's just a winning player. He's unselfish. He's got a great voice. He can literally guard 1 through 5. A lot of guys say they can. He can actually do it. And he never takes a possession off. Very mature team.
Isaiah Brown steps in, and Elijah Martin getting some love on the sideline. Now, you taking the temperature with the barometer or the thermometer? Like, what are you going with?
I use both.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And that's Klafschar again, man. You know how difficult it is to draw an offensive foul on Fears and stay in front of him? I mean, this kid can make some threes, but I see the value that Todd Golden sees, that I can put this guy in and maybe lock down one of your highest scoring guards going forward. And he is built like a bulldog.
Golden was discussing when he was asked about all this depth that all of a sudden is developed, and now with hand locked, and he's like, playing 10 is not ideal. And now Klafschar is kind of knocking on the jet door to get in. Houck will absorb, and then throw it up. Hand locked and pushed off. So, if you were to power rank in the SEC, how would you power rank them tonight, right now? 1 through 4.
I don't know if there's much separation between Auburn and Florida, to be honest with you. Florida won at Auburn. So I would split those two, honestly.
So they're on the one line, and in our little world right now, Auburn/Florida.
Auburn/Florida. I love Alabama. I still like Tennessee, and I think A&M. They're all this. There's no separation in my eyes between those 5 teams.
Okay. Hand locked in, working hard, and there you go. He's got his first 2 and a largest lead of the night.
There will be games in March that you've got to be able to throw the dadgum ball inside and score, get fouled, and Hand Lockton can be that pressure release 2 or 3 times a game for him.
And they already have that guy who's just sitting on the bench right now in a boot. There's a 3. That guy is an absolute pure shooter and Fears. And another big night for him offensively as he goes for 20.
He has had a great year, Fears, for a kid that should be a high school senior, and he's just been thrown into the fire. If you can see, he glides with the ball.
Brown, I'd like to get in on the action too. He couldn't there. Brown came down on him. We'll take a timeout. Think about the 2 freshmen we've seen our last 2 games.
You know who else is doing a great job of coaching this year? Megan Golden, undefeated.
She is. I know what you're saying. And don't forget, Jimmy, of course, that the ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
New to the big city?
Yeah.
I'm Mara.
Hi. Apparently Progressive lets homeowners and renters bundle with their auto policy. 24/7 protection for all of my things.
Hey, I love that you protect all my stuff, but could you tone down the creepiness?
Sorry. I'd do anything for you, Emily.
Still creepy.
Right.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Marines are made for this. Made for the calling only warriors can answer. Made from an unshakable belief in our nation and a strength that comes from the determination to win together. But you'll have to earn your place among us, because you don't join the Marines. You become one.
At Metro, get $25 in line for 4 lines, plus 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. It's easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Visit a store, go online, or call. Only at Metro.
Own a design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings.
I can help with that.
Get back to doing what you love. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks, your way to money.
Turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Up next year on ESPN2, Dallin, a Houston team coming off an enormous win in Arizona.
We always talk about their defense and rebound, and that's what they're built on, but they shoot it so much better this year, and LJ Cryer is one of those guys. Arizona State's got to clean up the glass and maybe slow down some of these threes.
And coach over on ESPN, Zeke Mayo, and a big run in Provo tonight.
Zeke Mayo needs to knock down jumpers, but this Kansas team as a group, a collective responsibility, they must be more consistent on both sides of the ball.
Ravi, they have struggled on the road. That game tips top of the hour, ESPN.
Yeah, that's been a problem.